Hey guys, it's Kristine. It's finally March and I'm going to set up my March budget. Even though I'm paid bi-weekly, I am going to set up a monthly budget. You don't need a fancy form. You don't need a fancy book. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen. You'll also need your bills, your pay stub, your bank records, your check register, or your credit card statements. Here, I'm going to use this dotted notebook in the place of like my pay stub, in the place of my bills. I'm just going to get them from this. So because this is the month of March, I'm going to go ahead and label this on top. And then I am going to, because I do want to add a pop of color, this is not necessary, but I'm just going to put it there. And I'm going to put income. All right, so you're going to want to look at your past paycheck or your pay stubs. If you have a salary or if you have a fixed income, that's going to be easy enough. If your paycheck is a little bit variable, you're going to want to maybe reference the checks that are most representative of the hours that you are getting scheduled these days, or get your base hourly pay. Yeah, in my case, I actually don't know what I'm going to be paid because my employers, the long story short is that they switched payroll companies and they kind of messed up with my tax withholding for federal just recently, and I ended up getting $215 less in my previous paycheck. And then I came to find out that they've been messing up on my state tax withholding since 2020. So I really honestly don't know how much I'm going to get, but I am assuming that in my previous paycheck, they took out all the taxes. So the hope is that moving forward, I will be paid more than this. So fingers crossed, guys. Paycheck 1 and then paycheck 2. Okay, so we're going to put $2,088.26. I am assuming this is the minimum I will be paid. So yeah, when they messed up my tax withholding for the state of California, they were taxing me too much. So whenever I was filing my state taxes for the past couple years, I was getting a big refund. I haven't filed my taxes yet for 2022. So I have no idea how much I'm getting back, but because, you know, they were taking out too much, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a sizable amount again. Hopefully, knock on wood. I mean, you know, they did take it out of my paycheck. So here we've got the bare minimum, assuming I work all my hours, which I am not anticipating having to take any time off. So I'm going to look to see what dates I'm getting paid. And I'm going to make a note here. So March 8th. And so this should be 22nd. Okay. And then we're going to do the fixed expenses. So to me, fixed expenses would be like my bills, the ones that either don't change amounts or ones that I'm expecting to come out every single month. Rent. You know what? Okay, let's go to February. So rent, I don't have a balance with Bank of America or Chase. AD&D, should I write down the dates on these? PG&E, I will write down the dates, but I will do that later. T-Mobile, City, so Old Navy and City are credit cards I don't have a balance. Water, Vision, car insurance, Hulu, Disney, Google, HBO Max. I have decided to keep that for a little bit longer. And then I have my health insurance. And this always comes out on the last day of the month. So whether that's the 28th, like in February, or the 31st in March. Blue Shield 2. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and look at my bills to see how much they cost. If you don't have it already written down, this is the time where you would reference your previous payments. So we are going to do, see, rent is $7.58. AD&D is $30. PG&E, I'm budgeting $160. My last payment was $146.26. The one in January was $125. But if I look back to previous bills, like all the way to, let's say, last summer, or even the coldest parts of winter, they've generally been a little bit higher. So I would rather budget a little bit high here and sort of build a mini buffer within my my account that I use for bills. So I'm going to say 160. T-Mobile is I'm going to budget 150. iCloud, I'm going to budget 10. Dental, I'm going to budget 46. Water, okay, so I've been budgeting 55. Here I've paid $46.29. Oh, okay, well, I don't know what I paid for January because I paid that early. So we're just gonna stick with 55. Vision is gonna be 37. Car insurance is 52. Hulu and Disney Plus, I got that for $5. So in case you're wondering how I got it to be so low, on Black Friday last year, I got Hulu with the ads for $1.99. That's for the whole year. And then I went to the menu, and instead of, doing the bundle, I just did an add-on, and I added Disney Plus for $2.99. So $2.99 and $1.99 is $4.98. So that's how I'm getting that. And then this year, once it's September or October, I'm going to cancel those again, because you do need a minimum of 1 month to have not had Hulu to get this deal again. So that's what I plan to do. And then Google is $2. HBO Max, I had a similar deal. It was $1.99 for the Black Friday price, but it only lasted 3 months. So that was November, December, and then January. So February and then now March, they'll be $10. So I'm budgeting $10. Okay, so for Blue Shield 1, I paid $267. I had budgeted $286 last time, but I did make a phone call and made sure that's what my bill was going to be moving forward. So $268. I'm just going to round this up. What had happened was December they undercharged me. I think it was like $240 something, and then January they overcharged me to make up for December's payment. And then February, which is this one right here, I was, back to normal where it should have been. So $267.30. And then same thing with Blue Shield 2, but instead of $123, it's going to be $115. So I think that is it for bills. So I'm going to add this up. Okay, so the total is $1,698. And that's for fixed expenses. So we've already started actually paying some of March's bills. So like rent here, I've already paid March. So this is actually for April. AD&D. So I've actually already paid for March. So we're going to pay for April here. PG&E, I've already paid for March. So this is for April. And then T-Mobile, I will be paying March's bill. So this will be April's bill. iCloud. Okay, so iCloud I have not paid for March yet. So this will be March 8th. And it will fall right on my payday. Dental. So this will be March 13th. Water. I actually already got my water bill, but I am going to pay that March 15th. Yeah, that makes sense. So vision, March 15th. Car insurance, March 15th. Disney Plus and Hulu. So that will be the 27th. Google, that'll be the 27th. HBO Max, that'll be the 27th. Blue Shield 1 will be the 31st. Yeah, because it's the last day of the month. So these will be due then. And then my next payday after this March 22nd will be April 5th. Oh. So this PG&E bill actually falls right on April 5th, but we're not going to cut it that close. I will go ahead and pay this in March. Now that you've figured out your fixed expenses, you want to figure your variable expenses. I'll go ahead and flip this over. All right, this is variable. Now this, just like the name suggests, is going to vary. You want to make sure that you are keeping track of your expenses. If you haven't already, that is actually one of the biggest tools that you can start right now to help you hone in on your actual spending. I try to do it on a daily basis. There's days where I don't keep track, and then I just have like a bunch of receipts, or I have to reference my online accounts to see how much I spent. You can have just a notebook and just track it that way. I find that color coding really helps, but if you're just trying to take the first steps, I would recommend definitely tracking your spending. I have been giving myself $400 as my variable spending money. So that's anything from these categories here. I used to put a specific dollar amount for groceries. For example, I'd say like $150 for the 2 weeks, or $200 for the 2 weeks. Depending on what I'm anticipating getting. But now I've kind of got it down to where I don't want to be constrained by those dollar amounts. So I've sort of just have the $400 lump sum, and I can spend it on anything that I want within my budget. I would say maybe the top 5 variable categories would be groceries, gas, household, dining, and meds. Yours might be different. Maybe personal care is really important to you, or like fund money, that sort of thing. Clothing. I mean, all of these are, important in their own way. They all have their place. But for me, the top 4 will definitely be groceries, gas, household, and dining. Meds is important too, but a lot of my medications are not that expensive. I just have like one that does get pretty pricey. But we'll handle sinking funds later on. Variable spending. So I'm just going to put Kristine and son. And then for the month, I do give myself $800. And then for my daughter, she's away at college right now, and I've been sending her $35 a week. I've thought of increasing it to $40 a week. I mean, in all honesty, I wish I could send her more, but there's a lot of things I'd rather not get into in my videos. So 35 is it. So I'm gonna put 140. Let me see where that puts me. And then I might revisit this later on. So for variable spending, I have 940. So here I'm going to do ambitions, and that is a budgeting term I borrowed from Kat. This is what she calls her goals when she's budgeting. It could be anything from debt payment, saving, or investing. Whatever that means for you, that will go over here. So for me, it is my Roth IRA. And for that, I've been putting $300 a paycheck. So for the month, that'll be $600. And then I'm also doing a 100 envelope challenge. So money from my 100 envelope challenge funds 2 of my goals. That's my big emergency fund, and also saving up $5,000 for my Charles Schwab Intelligent Portfolio. So every paycheck I'm putting $400, so for the month that is $800. So all in all, that is $1,400. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm sure it'll come to me. So next are sinking funds. I'm just going to put sinking. And first I have my Santa Saver, which is what they call the account I have this money in. And I'm saving $25 a paycheck towards it. I started in November, and that's $25 a paycheck, so that's $50. And then here I'm just going to put sinking funds, for lack of a better term. My sinking funds category in my sinking funds group. And that gets whatever is left over from here. So like here, for example, I didn't have as much money because of my paycheck, so I only put $36.83. But over here, because I had a better sized paycheck, I was able to put $251 in these two combined towards sinking funds. So let's do the math and see where we're at. So 4176.52 minus, sorry about the glare, 1698, 940, 1400, 50. So it's 88.52. 88.52. Okay, so one more thing I'm borrowing from Kat. And I hope I'm doing this right. Allocations. And this is the part of the budget where she basically calculates the percentages based on her pay. So we have income, fixed. So we'll do fixed. Variable. Ambitions. And sinking funds. So fixed, $16.98. And then variables $940. Ambitions is $1,400. And then sinking funds is $138.52. And if I needed more money in any of the other categories, like I would pull them from sinking funds, because that to me is sort of at the bottom of my priorities. Okay, so I didn't put the income, 417652. 1698 divided by 417652 is 40.66%. And then variable is 940 divided by 4176.52 times 100, 22.51%. Ambitions, 1,400 divided by 4176.52 times 100 is 33.52%. And last but not least, 138.52 divided by 4176.52 times 100 is 3.32%. Okay, it's off by, 0.01, but that's okay. So, of my income, fixed expenses is 40%, roughly 40% of it. And my variable expenses is about 22.5%, ambitions 33.5%, and sinking funds is 3.32. So if you were to lump the sinking funds with variable spending, it would be more like 25.83% if you lump those together. So now that I've figured out my budget for the month, I am going to do one extra step, and that is because I am a bi-weekly budgeter, and I don't like to have one paycheck be too bill heavy. So I take my amount and I split it in half. If you're just starting out, you might not be able to do this right away, but once you get sort of ahead on your bills, then you can do it. 1,698 divided by 2 is 849. Here. 849. And then 940 divided by 2 is 470. And then 1,400 is 700. $138.52 is $69.26. Okay. So these will be my bi-weekly amounts. And when you tune in to my bi-weekly paycheck budgets, this is the amount that you're going to see. And I'm going to set it up similarly to this right here with all these numbers. If you want to stay tuned for one of those videos, I will explain what all these different numbers and columns are. But for now, this is my monthly budget for the month of March. I'm hoping that my paycheck will be a lot bigger than this so that I can put more towards my sinking funds. Because even though that's at the bottom of my priority list, there are some things that are important to me that are coming up. For example, my daughter's graduation. So that's probably the biggest thing that I definitely need to save up for. I've already got a hotel room booked and it's going to cost me $700. We're not even going to talk about that right now, but yeah. If you want to follow me on this journey, hit subscribe down below. I will post more videos like this. Thanks for being here, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.